to trial wheels for.
Oh, nice. I appreciate it. Yeah. So, okay, we're live then. All right, everybody. Welcome back to the Patrick Carr Show over here. Going live across everywhere right now. And actually, we get very lucky this show. We finally get Anthony on the mic over there. Behind the scenes, everybody. If you've seen his work, all right. But now we get an opportunity to hear from Anthony. So now when I ask you some questions, you can participate in this thing, brother.
Yeah, you
I
can
love
actually
that.
hear me now.
I know, it's great. You actually have a voice. You're not just like a guy behind the camera over there, are you?
Exactly.
That's awesome, man. I'm really happy. All right, so big news, a lot going on over the weekend. If your first time ever joining the show, we try to do these every single day, give you a little live update on what's going on across the country here. We film these normally in the afternoon, so I'll tell you, it's normally when you have news that's coming out here, everybody. Sometimes we get the facts wrong, sometimes we get them right, but it's all because it is happening in real time. So we're looking at the stuff as we do it, coming off the cuff with you, to give you the best news that we can give you from everything that we're able to find in our sources. So hopefully be a good episode here, because we got to start with the big news that happened over the weekend. Spirit Airlines is no longer around, Anthony. Spirit Airlines announced on Saturday that they're done. They're closing their doors, everybody. This means close to 17,000 employees are going to be looking for work elsewhere right now. This is not a small thing that has happened. This is a shutdown. This is not a reorganization as well. For those of you who might be aware, there was some reorganizing that happened in 2024 and 2025 for Spirit, and the company itself had been struggling. Their numbers had dropped from a little over 5% to only 3% market share, and they just couldn't make any money. There was a deal with the U.S. government looking to purchase 90% of Spirit Airlines, which would then make a government-run airline, which I really didn't like. That deal fell through, and Spirit Airlines now goes under. This was a very unique way of it happening, though, Anthony. Normally, when you see this stuff happen, what you normally see is that there's a winding down phase where people start to go, okay, well, I'm going to have my ticket, but literally, if you had a ticket on Saturday night, you could have been going to the airport. They sent out this email. They notified passengers, probably through text message notifications, all that stuff. Don't come to the airport. Don't show up. The flight ain't taking off. You even had that one example of was it a Spirit Airlines?
Oh yeah, the customer service desk in like Orlando. They had no idea that they were getting fired that day.
Wow.
Yeah, they're all looking at the news the same way that the passengers found out. They were like, wait. Right?
And then there was a pilot for Spirit Airlines as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
This pilot for Spirit Airlines was actually flying. He was going to fly his last flight before retirement, you had said, right? And then he had to do the last flight with another airline because he had to get home somehow, and they shut down Spirit Airlines. So this was going to be like his retirement flight. And I think it was like American or Delta. You'll have to look it up, but they're the ones who threw him like a going away, like woo, gave him like a bottle of champagne and stuff. It wasn't even Spirit Airlines who did it. It was actually a rival flight, or previously a rival company that was out there. So Spirit Airlines is done, and it speaks to, in my opinion, it speaks to a trend within the industry, everybody. If you haven't noticed, it's a real pain in the ass to go flying. And I'm not surprised to see that Spirit Airlines has gone under. The reason is because when people are traveling, it's already painful enough to go to the airport. And then when you tack onto that, maybe you're saving $50 and you have to fly on Spirit. Man, that is not a pleasant experience at all. And travelers right now are looking for a better experience than what they've been receiving with, like, you're crunched in like this. And so you're seeing things like lounges become more important. You're seeing things like business and first class become more important than what they were when these value propositions came up 30 years ago. People were okay with their experience 30 years ago, well, being cheaper, all right, a cheaper experience, because everything that surrounded the flight was better, all right? Like, it didn't used to be like going to the airport was so terrible of an experience. And we fly a lot here. And don't get me wrong, I'm probably jaded by the fact that we go out of an MCO, which is the worst airport in America. Anybody who's ever flown out of Orlando, you know the anxiety that you get when you walk around that corner and there's like 1,000 people that are waiting in line for TSA. And no matter what time of day that you go to MCO, it is always that way. And it's just the anxiety that you walk around and you just see lines. And oh my gosh, every time I walk around the corner there and I see it, I'm like, I'm going to be late for a flight. No way this thing's going to work. That's why MCO is just terrible. But my point is to say that the experience around flying was okay back then. Now it's terrible everywhere you go. And so you don't want to be packed in even further on a flight. You may want to pay $50 more just to get a better experience right now. At least that's what I think.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I never liked flying Spirit, but I loved flying Spirit in the sense I loved paying. It's like almost like Walmart. I hate shopping at Walmart, but damn, do I love those deals.
Yeah,
so it's like
good point.
So I feel like it's gonna be a big shift to the industry in the sense that like now there's not really, because a lot of the major flights like American, JetBlue, or Delta, they were kind of competing with Spirit and trying to lower their prices so that way they can get you on that flight rather than Spirit. But now since there's not the economical flight anymore, now they can raise their prices up a little bit more than they usually are.
It's a really good point. So I think that we have the Spirit may not have had a huge market share, but in a way they kept other airlines honest.
Yep.
In that, hey, our prices are lower than what yours are. You've got to at least pay attention to us over here. And if they don't, or in this case, let's just say they've gotten rid of it now, what stops American Airlines or what stops from some of these from increasing their rates? And I'm going to tell you nothing, everybody. Yeah. All right. Now, the good thing for passengers out there, if you're thinking, oh man, how much are they going to jump up? Well, Spirit had scaled down its flights substantially in the last couple of years. So there weren't nearly as many routes, which means that I don't think it's going to affect travel as much as what some people are saying. But what it is going to affect is, like you said, it's going to affect those bottom line pricing that, if you're looking for the cheapest flight that's out there. Listen, when you go to Google Flights and you put in any airline or, let's say Orlando to Atlanta, Spirit Airlines is going to come up there as one of the cheaper ones, always at the top. And then as you filter your way down into other flights, it becomes more expensive with American and Delta and some of the others. Yeah. Now that's not going to be there anymore. And so I wonder what that pricing is going to look like in about a year from now, as like you said, you've got these other companies that are not going to have an anchor down to Spirit Airlines, anchoring the pricing down low. So yeah, everything's going to go up. Price of oil is going up. Spirit's not around anymore. And American and Delta are going to take advantage of that right now. Southwest, all of these are going to take advantage of it. And they're going to push prices up.
Yeah, it's crazy.
What are the largest airlines by market share? Can you look that up? I'm just interested to know, what is the largest? Is it American? I'm assuming American Airlines is the largest market share right now. Probably followed by Delta and then Southwest.
Yeah, American Airlines, and then
what did they have?
21 to 22%.
Okay.
Delta's next with 17 to 19%.
Okay.
Southwest 17 to 18. United 16. I believe last I saw, I think Spirit was like 7th in the market.
I think they only had like 3% market share though.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like they had dropped from 5 to 3% of market share. If you can look that up, maybe verify that for me. But very low.
Let's see. Yeah, they were 4%.
4%. Okay, so there you go. They had dropped. One of the studies that we saw was 5 to 3. Maybe it's 5 to 4, depending on who where you got your information from.
Did you you know how much money they're in debt with Spirit?
How much money are they in debt?
$8 billion.
$8 billion. How does that even happen? Like, I mean, I can't be the only business owner out there who thinks, like, how do you get $8 billion in debt? Like, I know my credit cards are getting shut off when I don't pay them. How many different loans, how many different ways of inventing money did you come up with in order to get $8 billion in debt? And I get it. I mean, but they've been around for a long time. And it's not like they're innovating over here. So somebody was giving them this money. And I'm actually happy that the government pulled out of this one. I really didn't like the idea of having a government-run airline, to me, that just screams communism. Like, I just don't like that. It screams like something I would see over in China or Russia, not in America. I really didn't see why the government was stepping in to do something like that. Why do the government want to own 90% of an airline? Just that's not where I think government needs to be, competing against private businesses and stepping in to do that. I really didn't like this at all. But Spirit Airlines abruptly stops all flights on May the 2nd, 2026. And it's just run out of money, everybody. And 17,000 people are affected. Passengers were left scrambled and looking for flights. And it's liquidating this thing. So like I say, this is not a reorganization. You are not going to see those yellow planes in the sky anymore. Not a temporary issue. This is a done deal. And like you said, it came as a surprise to everybody, including their customer service desk. That's the story. I mean, I think it's crazy. And then they shut down their online, or they shut down their customer service online. And they just said, hey, listen, basically we're going to refund this stuff and you'll get it in a couple of days. And that's it. See you later.
I just find it crazy. Ever since we've been doing this podcast, we've been seeing like a lot of like layoffs recently, and a lot of these companies scaling down.
Yeah.
And then this company just went ahead, went bankrupt. And then like a month ago, there's two guys just made a whole AI thing and made $1 billion in just
unbelievable
a year. Just two guys, and it's
crazy.
Two
guys, over $1 billion. Their company's going to scale over $1 billion right now, and it's going to be interesting, man. What's going to happen to this market right now when you see things like 17,000, 20,000 with Oracle, then Facebook another 7 or 8,000 from Facebook. These are just the ones that we're getting. I bet we could come up with a news story every day of at least a couple thousand people being laid off. So where are these people going in the market? These are I'm assuming there's some great jobs that got, within the Spirit, whether it be tech, operations, sales, marketing, all of those positions are gone. And so those people immediately today are looking for work. The problem, as you point out, is that in our market right now, people are attempting to downsize the number of employees they have or cap the number of employees they have, subsidized with great AI in order to be more productive with what you currently have, not trying to add on more bodies, more salaries. And so what we're going to see here is this is not like this is not a siloed thing here. This is going to be something that is continuing to happen the rest of 2026. The theme of 2026 is companies attempting to do more with what they already have, not trying to bring on more services, more manpower, more. Let's see, that's not what we want to do. We don't want more assembly lines. We want to get more out of the assembly line that we already have in place. So this is definitely going to be a trend that we're going to continue to see as good people are going to be looking for work. And in my opinion, what you're going to find is that you're going to start to get these little companies that are going to start to pop up everywhere. All right. And companies, because they have the ability to use AI quickly right now to compete against larger companies, there's going to be a lot of people that come into entrepreneurship because of what's happened here. And they're not because they want to, because they don't have a choice to. It's not, there aren't the jobs out there anymore that are paying $150,000 a year that are hiring, because these companies are sitting there and they're going, hey, listen, I got to get more out of these positions that I already have. I can't go out there and afford to go pay another $150,000 for an HR manager. Instead, I'm going to use AI and I'm going to use my operations manager to kind of fill in on both positions right there, so I don't have to bring on any additional salaries. We're going to see this, and it's going to continue. And Spirit Airlines is just another example right here, folks, of where the workforce is going to be for the remainder of 2026. I bet we could come up with one of these stories every day, Anthony, of layoffs that are happening.
Oh, yeah.
Not easy to see. All right, next story I want to talk about is Home Depot, brother. You brought this story to me, and Home Depot is in the news, and they're in the news because of a theft ring. It was broken up over in California. I'm going to find the story right now, but it looks like there's a theft ring out in California. Putting this together. Hold on. Where is it? There we go. Home Depot theft ring was busted up in Los Angeles. Folks, we're not talking about a small number of, just a small number of tools here, okay? We're talking about some people that were out there, about $600,000 worth of tools. Supposedly, allegedly, these individuals were stealing items, and then they were taking those items and selling them. So it's kind of like you're not just you're selling them on the back end, right? So $600,000 worth of goods. It was broken up by the California Highway Patrol, who was committed to aggressively investigating organized retail crime activity in the Los Angeles region, end quote. The suspects, like I said, did not steal the merchandise for themselves, but purchased stolen inventory with the intent to resell it at a swap meet, which is where the agency caught up with these people and put them behind bars. This is something that companies like Home Depot, Lowe's, if you have a brick and mortar store, you know how much theft can crush your bottom line. Stores like this are guarding against it much closer than what they were because, again, margins are thinner than they've ever been before. You can't afford to lose $600 in top line, or $600,000 in top line revenue right there. You need that money because your margins, people, if you think that these home goods stores, their margins are sitting where they were 5-10 years ago, you're crazy. Amazon and others online, Walmart online, they are pushing the margins lower for in-home stores or home improvement stores. And therefore, these people are guarding that top line revenue. They want to figure this stuff out so that their stores can be as profitable as possible. 600,000 though, not a little number. Not like you're kicking a few nails and some hammers here. They were doing this consistently. I'm sure they got away with a lot more than just the 600,000. This probably is not the first time that these individuals have done something like this. Just the first time they've been caught.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Anything else about this one?
No, I mean, pretty straight to point with that one.
Yeah, I think so. And I think that this should be a lesson to people because these stores are going to be monitoring this more closely than ever. They're watching their inventory. They're keeping track of their inventory with AI right now. And so I would not be surprised to see behind the scenes if stores like Lowe's and Home Depot, Walmart, that they continue to bust this stuff up quickly because of how important the inventory is to them right now, and their ability to track and monitor their inventory has only gone up with AI.
I heard a story. I guess it was like maybe 5 years ago with Walmart. What they do is that they don't arrest you if you steal. They basically have it on a security camera where they AI and like track your face and like do facial recognition and see how much money you're taking out every time you leave the store. So once you hit a certain number, let's say it's over $500, like you kept on stealing, that's when they get you and bust you.
Wow.
So don't bust you if it's like $10 you stole or $20. They wait until like you've stolen to the point where it's like 500 or more, then it becomes a criminal charge.
Got it.
And then
I could see that happening. I really could. From my perspective, I think about stealing that most people, how would I put it? If you catch someone stealing from your company, it's not the first time that they've been stealing. All right. There's no, undoubtedly, they've been doing it a lot more, and you just caught them that time. I'm trying to remember this story. I mean, who told it online about basically he asked, who did he ask? Like basically this guy came to him and wanted to know a scenario, like a business coach. And he had asked him what he would do about a situation where a woman was caught stealing who had been with the company for 30 years. Would he hire her back even though she was caught stealing, but she'd been with the company for 30 years, right? Like basically it was the idea was, Anthony, that he was trying to pose the question to the coach, or maybe like Tony Robbins, something like that. Like, do you value the one time they screwed up, which is a terrible thing, or do you value all the 30 years that they put in? And the coach said, fire them immediately because it's not the first time that they've stolen from you. And so what it should do is piss you off even more because now you know for probably 30 years they've been stealing from you. Because no one just starts out one day. It's the little things. It's like, I'm just going to take this and then I'm going to take this. And all of a sudden you start making little deals with yourself that it's okay that you do that. Oh, it's a big Home Depot. I mean, shoot. I mean, what are they going to miss? A few tools? Like they're going to be just fine. And all of a sudden you start to justify what you're doing and you begin to go down that rabbit hole. We've seen people that are good people make bad choices with this. And this is, I don't know, these people are any good or bad or whatever, but I can tell you it's not the first they've done something like this. All right. And our last story is breaking today as we speak right now. It is happening, folks. The hantavirus. The hantavirus is linked to 3 deaths on a cruise ship that's docked out in the Atlantic right now. Folks, this is what no one is talking about. So first of all, hantavirus is often transmitted from animals into humans. And looks like 3 passengers aboard the ship died over the weekend. The World Health Organization is called in. You've got another one in intensive care and 2 more that got sick from the same hantavirus on the ship. But here's the deal. They're not unboarding. They're not docking the ship. They're not docking the ship. They're leaving it out in the ocean right now because nobody wants to take it. Every country is like, no, you can't dock here. Don't come here. So meanwhile, 150 passengers are sitting on this ship right now, and they have no idea if they're going to be the next one to get sick. They have no idea what's going to happen to them, and they got no idea when they're going to dock. Could happen later today, could happen tomorrow, but in the meantime, you're sitting there on a ship where it's only 150 people, where, I don't know, what is that, 6? So 3, what is that, 4.5%? I'm trying to, my quick math here. What is that, 4.5% have been in intent? Let's see here. So we're doing 6 divided by, what's that, 150? Yeah, 4%. So 4% of the passengers and crew are severely sick or dead, and you can't go anywhere. You're sitting there on a boat basically just going, am I going to get sick next? Am I going to die next? What's going to happen to me? And you want to get off the ship. You probably just want to go home. You want to get out. You want to feel safe. Nope. You can't go anywhere because the World Health Organization in all these countries, they don't want to take these passengers until they for sure confirm that these passengers aren't going to spread the hantavirus from person to person. And it is possible to spread this from person to person. Although it is rare, it does happen. I can't imagine being on this ship right now. I understand there's some videos coming out as well, Anthony, from people on this ship that are basically sitting there like, I want to get off this thing, and they're not letting me. It really speaks to what kind of rights passengers do you have? Because I'm going to tell you this, ain't many right now. You can't do a thing. I'm sure that you thought that you were in control, or, man, if you ordered them, they have to dock somewhere. Nope. You can't do anything if you're a passenger on there or a crew member. You're all stuck together at this point now.
Yeah, that's scary too. Cause imagine like you just see like the person right next to you just pass away, and then the person down the hall pass away, and it's like, I just want to get off of the ship, and you just can't. Cause
can you imagine that? Like you're sitting there in your room, and like maybe the people next to you died. I mean, you're sitting there like, okay, like, am I going to go to sleep? What if something bites me when I'm sleeping? And that's what and they were dead like that. And so I can imagine just being on that ship, especially if I'm elderly and I feel like I'm prone if I did get sick. The 2 people that died were husband and wife, 69 and 70 years old. So if you're someone elderly on that ship, you've got to, again, be thinking to yourself, God forbid they don't find whatever transmitted this thing, and you're the next one to go.
Yeah, that's scary.
Very scary right here. You'd think that what they would do is they say, what is it? Deboard the ship? Deboard?
Yeah.
Deboard?
I think deboard the ship.
Yeah, deboard the ship? I don't know. So you would think they want to deboard the ship in an organized way. Like, in other words, maybe they come out there with a helicopter and take 10 people off at a time, test them in an offsite location, and then move them into a hospital for, I don't know, for 24 hours for observation, and then get them back out into the public. But they're not even doing that. So literally, they just found out yesterday that it is hantavirus. They did test it. It is actually on the ship. Oh, and by the way, you can't leave the ship. So these people are getting real-time information right now, like we are. They're sitting there in the middle of the Atlantic, and they can't do a damn thing. For me, there's got to be a better way to do this than just leaving people on the ship all day. Yeah, this is not a good thing. But those are, that's the main stuff that we got. There was some other news that we had from the weekend. I know I'm moving right now, so a little bit late getting to the office today. But Spirit Airlines, the Home Depot theft ring, and of course the hantavirus is one that we are going to be monitoring. I cannot believe that if they stay on the ship, how is somebody else not going to die? Is it spreading on the ship? Do they know if it's spreading? Do they contain this thing? God, there's so many questions that I would have.
Yeah,
not good.
I wonder how the virus even got there on the ship too.
Right. That's another thing you got to think about. And of course, they're going to have to quarantine all the ship, and they'll probably go through it, all over, make sure it's good. But still, you're absolutely right. You've got to be thinking about that because it came from somewhere to get on that ship. It's definitely something worth considering. Anything else is trending today, bro?
Let me look.
Let's see what we got. We'll look right now in some real time here. Rudy Giuliani is trending?
Oh, yeah. He's in, I guess he's in the hospital right now.
Whoa. Yeah, Giuliani. Hospitalized in Florida in critical condition right now.
Ooh.
He is breathing on his own. Looks like he was hospitalized for the flu. Wow. It's always fun to see like some of these when you actually go through the trending stuff and find out why it actually is trending. Cameron Diaz. What is she trending for? Oh, birth of her third child. Okay. That's gotta be a great feeling. You announce the birth of your third child and that begins to trend all over the world. Man, you know that you're a big deal when that happens.
Yeah.
I wish most people, they can't get their family to go and give them like a message or a shout out online. But Cameron Diaz announces her third child, and then all of a sudden she's trending in a matter of hours. What a good feeling for her. Star Wars back in the news here, it looks like. Oh, 4th. That's why.
Yeah.
May the 4th. Yeah. Gosh, whoever came up with that marketing, what a genius. Whoa. Well, we got big news here. We missed. What is going on here? McDonald's is quietly ditching a popular in-store feature nationwide. The transition is expected to roll out gradually as restaurants are remodeled with a completion by 2032. McDonald's is quietly ending the era of self-serve soda fountains nationwide, folks. Whoa. The shift, years in the making, is part of a broader effort by McDonald's to modernize their restaurants, okay? Reduce labor force, maintenance demands, and adapt to changing consumer habits that increasingly favor takeout, delivery, and drive-through service over dining in. McDonald's is going all in on affordability. Okay. The company plans to complete the transition away from self-serve beverage stations in U.S. dining rooms by 2032, with changes expected to roll out gradually over the next several years as restaurants are remodeled and updated. Well, so I have to go up to the counter to get my soda? What are we talking about here? In many locations, drinks are already being prepared behind the counter rather than poured by customers, making a clear departure from a long-standing self-service model that has been a staple of fast food dining rooms for decades. For customers, the change marks the end of a familiar convenience, as self-serve stations have traditionally allowed for easy refills and drink customizations. Yeah. Why would McDonald's be doing this? So they want to get the McDonald's greater control over beverage portions? I mean, really? We're talking about Coke in a bag. Like, who's abusing that?
Probably going to be spending more money just getting rid of all the machines and just keeping it.
They're saying that it costs money to maintain it. It costs money to obviously have the product in it, and you're losing money because of portion control, I guess. Like, in other words, if I have to go up there and physically give that cup back to somebody, I guess then there's going to be less people who get refills in dining rooms. I don't understand this one. Let's keep on reading here, okay? McDonald's rolled out an expanded menu, okay? Okay.
I mean, honestly, it's kind of makes me sad because I remember going there as a kid. And have you ever done this? Grab the soda cup and just do every single flavor when you're a kid?
Of course.
Just see what kind of weird concoction you can make.
Yeah, I mean, if they got rid of this stuff in every fast food dining room, kids are not going to be able to get the flavor of every single soda in one cup. All right, because every kid has done it, and now McDonald's is going to tear that away from us. Is what they're going to do. Getting rid of self-service beverage stations? Come on, McDonald's. Everybody loves your Coke, and when I'm in there, I don't want to have to go up to somebody and give them a cup to a refill. I just want to go up to the thing and get my Coke. And it does taste better at McDonald's. Everybody knows the Diet Cokes taste substantially better at McDonald's. And now I got to go and I got to ask somebody for it. Plus, I feel like such a little having to ask people for like, can I get my refill, please? Like, please, ma'am, can I get my refill? It's like, just go over and get it. Okay. I wonder though, I mean, have they thought about how much more they're going to have to spend in labor? I know it might not sound like much, but let's just say 200 people go up for a refill every day. That's 200 times somebody's going to be taken off task to do another job of refilling that soda for a customer that didn't have to do that previously. I can't imagine that right there is going to be productive or it's going to be good, especially for busier restaurants where there is a lot of people dining inside and you're trying to get the fast food line going or the drive-through line going. I just can't imagine this is going to be more efficient. This is a weird one to me. Why would you get rid of this? I don't like this move at all, McDonald's. I guess then you're going to walk in, you order your food, they give it to you, you sit down. Maybe they're going for more of an experience now within McDonald's, so it doesn't look like that fast food, but it looks more like a dining experience that you have.
I guess so. I don't know.
Interesting. Want a refill? McDonald's is changing how you get that soda forever. The freebies are going away. That's the key.
Yeah.
McDonald's, it's freebie. It's all the freebie stuff. You know, you buy the Coke once, then you don't have to do anything except go refill it. All right. Now, at least they're going to make you go to up to the person and make you work for it at least. This is exactly what this article starts with, bro. Anyone who's ever mixed a half dozen types of soda in one cup, for free, you're going to be saddened by this news. McDonald's is doing away with self-service beverage stations. Unbelievable.
Because of this, I'm going to protest. I'm going to go to McDonald's and be like, hey, I want 10% Coke, 10% Diet Coke, 10%.
That's it. That is what we need to do. We're going to put our foot down. We are going to go into that McDonald's and we'll walk to that woman. And she's like, can I get a refill? Do you need a refill? I'm like, yeah, I get my refill. And then she's like, what do you want? And I want 10% Coke, 10% Fanta, 10% Dr. Pepper. I want 10% of everything. All right. 10. And okay, well, listen, if you're going to make me walk up here and beg for my refill, then you're going to give me exactly what I want. Okay, McDonald's, we're not dealing with this crap anymore. I'll tell you. That's what we're going to protest this. That's what we're going to do. We need to make signs, everything. And then we're going to go to our local McDonald's and we're going to make those people work for our refill because McDonald's is taking away our freebies and our rights in restaurant. This is terrible. How are people ever going to taste the flavors now?
I don't know.
It's a terrible flavor, but at least it was easy when you were a kid to go get it.
It was a learning lesson.
Yes, it was a learning lesson. Your parents inevitably let you do it once.
Oh yeah.
Like, yeah, sure, go ahead. You're not going to like it. And then you don't like it. Or you're like one of those kids who says, oh yeah, I like it. But you're like, this really sucks. You never get it. No one ever goes back to get it. If it was good, then everybody would do it. I haven't done that in years. Since I was a kid. McDonald's just taking that away from us because once McDonald's does it, everybody's going to do it. So by the next 6 years, there's not going to be any more of those self-service stations. And the only way you're going to be able to get that for yourself is going to be if we stand up for our rights right now and we say, no, McDonald's, this has gone too far. Okay. It was enough when you got rid of all the great deals. Okay. Everything's gone from like a $2 menu to now feels like it's the $5 menu. Nothing's affordable. I went to the McDonald's the other day and it felt like $22 like for a meal and a side. I mean, gosh, it was unbelievable. I'm like, this isn't cheap anymore.
No.
But then on top of that, you're going to take away my self-service beverage stations so that when I'm sitting there in my McDonald's, I can get my refill happily for free and without having to ask someone. Not anymore. McDonald's is going to do away with this crap. That's that. That's trending. That's all we got on the trending side right now, folks. But thanks for joining us. This is our show. And we'll look forward to seeing everybody back tomorrow for another live show. We'll try to get on a little bit earlier tomorrow. Hopefully give Anthony a little more time to be able to do his work on his side. Until then, we'll see y'all tomorrow, everybody. Later. That's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.